Hello, hi. Hello.
Hello, hi.
Hello, Rohan. Hello, Keshav. Hello, Narmada Mani. I'm fine. How are you, Keshav?
Hi guys, are we live?
Yeah, we are live.
Am I audible?
You are audible.
Okay, so let's wait for people to join in so that we'll be able to.
Yes.
Just give me a second.
Hello, Ayush.
Yep, I can listen to my own voice. Nice. Ritika, can you mute yourself? Uh, yeah, now it's good. You can unmute yourself. I won't speak now.
Hello, Devansh.
Cool. So shall we start at 7:05? Cool. Ritika, what's going on today in the community? What's new?
So we are going for this week. We are going to host various consensus algorithm. We are going to discuss in staging area at Discord.
Okay, nice.
Uh,
Cool. So, what's the theme for today? You can definitely talk about it.
hmm. Let's wait for some people, more people to join in.
Are we good now?
Shall we start?
Yeah.
Uh, we should start recording also.
No, it's on live.
Okay. So hello everyone. We welcome you to our community session on exploring Bitcoin's programmable layer with stacks. You can shoot the questions if you want in session in middle as well as at the end. So let's begin with the session. We have been taking sessions for the community to educate people like you various around the topics in the past and will be conducting session in future as well. I'll give you the little bit introduction about the blockchain school. So the blockchain school is an integrated platform for awareness, education and employability for the blockchain and crypto space. We are a new edtech startup to help community understand and expand for this innovative technology and the Web3 ecosystem. A bit of introduction I'll give you about me. So I'm Ritika. I lead community and operation at the Blockchain School. I'll be the host for you this evening. And Saurabh is your mentor for today. Hi, Saurabh.
Hello. Thank you, Ritika. You want to introduce me, or you want me to introduce myself?
No, I'll introduce you.
I think
Saurabh is your mentor. Sorry.
your first session as a host, right?
Yeah, it's my first session as a host.
Best. Go for it.
Thank you. So Saurabh is our founder for the blockchain school, and he has the vision of making this world more informative and more aware about the blockchain space, the crypto space. And he'll be our mentor for exploring Bitcoin's programmable layer with stacks for today. Over to you, Saurabh.
Thank you so much, Ritika. Had a great start. Yeah, sure. So I've been able to see you're hosting a lot of voice channels at Discord, but wanted to do a lot of video. I also started exploring some time back, and trust me, it's fun. Quickly saying hello to Keshav, Devansh, Amitesh, Narmada, Rohan, Ayush is our own man. Rohan, yeah. So I think hello to everyone. Uh, but why so less? I can shoot in hellos. I can see on screen. It's a good number. It's a good start to learn something around Bitcoin. I'll quickly share my screen, Ritika. Let me know if it's visible. Give me a second. And yeah, is it visible?
It's being loaded. Yeah,
Okay.
it's visible now.
Hmm, interesting. So yeah, as you can look at screen, I'll be talking about something really interesting. We explored this technology, this platform, this revolutionary thing called Stacks a couple of weeks back. Me and my team spent good amount of time researching how the Stacks gonna basically bring in a new sort of a revolution in the Bitcoin blockchain space. We always talk about Ethereum, we always talk about DApps, that is decentralized applications, and we keep talking about a lot of different stuff in the ecosystem. But what makes Stacks unique is it gives you power to build, not to build, in fact, to leverage the full power and full potential of Bitcoin as a technology. Because so far we know that Bitcoin is called store of value. Bitcoin has been called upon for store of value, and we know we can build on top of other technologies and other protocols in the ecosystem. But Stacks basically changed the definition here. As the title suggests, we're gonna explore the programmable layer of Bitcoin with Stacks. Moving forward to today's agenda for the session, gonna be blockchain in 5 minutes. We do it. And in fact, I was talking to someone this afternoon, and I said every session we do, every boot camp we do, we try to keep it, we keep the start from the basics, because a lot of people, we are very sure that new people joins in, and it's our responsibility to tell them a bit about blockchain and then get into the actual topic. We'll be talking about consensus algorithm. We'll be talking about POX. Okay, in the audience, do you know what is POX? Can you write in chat what is POX? Okay, so POS we know proof of stake, POW we know proof of work, and I think POT and proof of time. And what, Ritika, you taught me today something. What was that? The other one?
It's proof of lapse time, POET.
POET. Now something called POX is a game changer. Do you know what is POX, or I should start? No idea.
Let's
I'm there for you. Anyone else have any idea what is POX? Nihar, like be like Nihar. You can say you don't have any idea. That's why we are here. Ayush, you're not supposed to say that. Okay, it's fine. But POX is basically proof of transfer. Narmada, yeah, you are right. I think we know what is proof of work. We know what is proof of stake. If you don't know, please write in chat. Uh, Now, proof of basically transfer is an extension to your proof of work. I'll be definitely taking you deeper into it. The second one is called clarity. Now we know Solidity as a language. We know a lot of other languages which blockchain platforms leverage. We know Trust. We know Golang. There's something called clarity. I'll give you more clarity once we reach there. And the last one is use of STX as a token. Okay, so moving forward, let's start with this. what is blockchain? Now, I bring back question to the community. If you can tell me what is blockchain in 3 words. I'm waiting for your answers. Can you tell me what is blockchain in 3 words? I'll wait for the comments.
Yeah, people are typing.
Let's wait. Okay, so we don't have an official quiz this time, but we have some plans. So please shoot your answers. We may do some giveaway if we get good amount of engagement during the session. Open distribution. Sneh. Good try. What else? Block is a chain. Nihar, no, it's not. Bro, I'll give you an example. So I was doing this in my recent class. Uh, so immutable decentralized database, interesting. So let me get into it. Okay, my way of explaining blockchain. So on screen you will find in layman's term, we break the word block and chain into block and chain. A blockchain is a database of blocks holding transactions that is decentralized, distributed, and immutable in terms of security. Let me make it easy for you. I have a box in my hand, and I have like similarly, I have like 10 to 12 boxes. Let's take an example of a train. Now we have so many bogies in a train, right? So every bogie, just put the passengers in the bogies, and the entire train is connected through the chain or that lock, which basically keeps up the entire chain together. And now one interesting feature of a chain is if it's chain of let's say 5 blocks, if it's a train, if something happens, if a pilot or what we say puts a brake and he's sitting in the first engine bogie, the entire reflection comes to the end of the box. And that's the interesting part about blockchain as well. If you try to do some mischief in any of the block, in the first block, in the middle block, in the last block, that will reflect in all the blocks in the network. Put a sticker on your reservation bogie. That sticker has all the names who are the people inside. But in blockchain, when we say we are making it more secure, we put that sticker, but it is called hash. We basically encrypt that data. We do not keep it open. It is visible, but it's encrypted. It's secure, and it's called a hash. Now moving forward to it, the definition is straight on your screen. But when we say blockchain, we also come across this term called Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. Now I'm pretty sure that my community is strong enough to understand the difference between Bitcoin and blockchain. But this session will have a special mention on Bitcoin, as stacks utilize the features of Bitcoin to power itself. In fact, stacks uses Bitcoin's potential to the fullest. So far, if you guys have any questions, please shoot in the comment box. Happy to answer them, or we will quickly jump into today's session. The reason we kept it any questions because we're getting into the session. So if you have any questions, feel free to put it. Ritika, if you find any questions, show it on screen. I'll answer them, or else let's keep moving. Okay. So when we say stacks, now stacks is basically a platform or giving a potential to build decentralized application. It's basically a decentralized application built on top of Bitcoin blockchain. Now I think forever we've been listening to this, that DApps can only be built on top of Ethereum. DApps can only be built on all the new current protocols and stuff. But when we say Bitcoin, we always had this mind as Bitcoin is always used to do plus minus, is always used to do value transfer, money transfer, or we always consider it as a product of a financial system. But when we say that we can build actual decentralized application on Bitcoin, this is a live example of it. Now, there are a lot of things when we go into stacks, but as Mindmet has rightly added to the screen, if you're confused, if you ever heard it for the first time, even we were astonished to actually see that how can we build apps on top of Bitcoin. Now, to simplify stacks is basically a layer 1 blockchain solution that is designed to bring smart contracts. Now, I'm pretty sure that you all are aware with smart contracts. If you're not, please write in chat. I'll love to break it for you. Bring smart contracts and decentralization to Bitcoin. Now, these smart contracts are bought to Bitcoin without changing any of its feature. Now, what I'm talking here is I'm talking that Stack is a layer one blockchain solution. Now you must be wondering, boss, what is layer one? We have no clue what is a layer, in fact. So this was a nice example that I would love to patch in. That take an example of internet. When internet started evolving in like a lot of decades back, we cannot consider internet evolution actually happened after dot-com bubble or actually happened after e-commerce boom or something. Internet happened long years back, but then internet was a layer, but it never came with its full potential. People like smart people like you and us came in the ecosystem, started building things on top of it, on top of internet, and we just saw the evolution. We saw dot-com bubble happening. We saw a lot of www. We saw the entire www evolution, the World Wide Web evolution happening. Then we saw applications coming in existence. Then we saw the community and connectivity to the fullest via applications like Facebook, WhatsApp, and others. But it was all built on top of internet. So now consider blockchain or Bitcoin blockchain as a layer, and Stack goes with the very first layer of blockchain. But whatever potential it actually takes from Bitcoin, it does not change any feature to the main code of Bitcoin. These smart contracts are bought to Bitcoin without changing any of its features, as I rightly show it on screen. Now, Stacks makes no modification to the Bitcoin design. It uses Bitcoin to basically settle transactions on Bitcoin blockchain and every block. This makes all Stack transaction inherit Bitcoin's finality and settlement. Now, if you're not available, if you're not like aware with the fact of finality and settlement, so finality is a term when a transaction is fully executed and being checkmarked by the validator that yeah, the transaction of block creation has been successfully done. It's like it's to the finality stage. And settlement. So because Stacks transactions can be verified on the Bitcoin blockchain itself. Moving forward, okay, so before Stacks, building a new feature on Bitcoin was like a paradox. So Bitcoin is secure and it's resistant to change. That we all are already aware, right? So it's secure because it has like a very limited scripting language with a small attack surface and limited space of transaction. So what I'm trying to say here is when we talked about Ethereum as a layer, we have a clear idea that it gives a lot of power back in the hands of developers to basically write on top of it, to basically build on top of it. But when we heard Bitcoin, we had no idea that it has those sort of capabilities. Now, introducing new features to Bitcoin core protocol is hard and not desirable, as these features are feature adds like a lot of complexity to the system. So far, if you think it's going a little tough, please put your questions. I'm saying it again. If you have questions, please put your questions. Would love to take it or continue to actually bring you to the actual talk of Stacks as a platform. So Stacks works on something called consensus mechanism with its proof of transfer capability. Now I'll break all the jargons on the screen, right? So to break consensus mechanism as a jargon, so consensus, you can take an example of India as a democracy. You can take an example of this exact room where we all are sitting. Let's say we want to launch new a course around Stacks, but we want to give the power back in the hands of community to decide if they want it or no. So what we do is we run the consensus like inside the community. So we all are the decision makers, or basically we all hold some sort of a stake in terms of deciding whether we should bring the course or no. That doesn't mean that you will put a decision on it. It is kind of an advisory or a suggestion or a feedback kind of a loop that we run. So we run on a consensus of our community. So this mechanism comes with proof of transfer. Now, I think this afternoon I was reading this piece on proof of transfer. So basically, to narrow it down, what is proof of transfer? Like proof of transfer is the pen that is helping us to write a news story for the internet. One written in Bitcoin's gold ink with you as a hero, a reality where you are a decision maker, have freedom and rights and are a participant in the value you create. A reality in which you, not big companies, own your digital identity and title. And one last line that I noted on my notes was proof of transfer makes you the owner of tomorrow's internet. Now I'll bring back the entire discussion to the easiness of it. Every time we have taken these examples of talking about big companies holding the ownership on our data. I never spoke about this example, right? So let's say I join an XYZ platform where we make friends online, right? Tomorrow, if I wish to delete my profile from there, do you think that the entire data that we've been putting there forever will be deleted as well? Do they give you the power of deleting your entire data or taking your entire scene with you outside the application? Can you write in chat yes or no? If you delete a profile on an XYZ platform today, any platform that you use in your day-to-day life, can you take the entire control of your data? Can you take your entire data back? Sarvesh, Asta, I think you've been consistent with a lot of our other sessions. So can you say yes or no? Yeah, Sarvesh, nope. It's not possible. But again, okay, so I think I'll love to I'll love to keep this entire thing easy, and I'll give you an interesting example. Okay, so to help with this, okay, so I think if we look at blockchain as a technology, we say that digital identity that we own it, we have the powers, and we have the entire authority to keep it. Okay, so it still feels like a buzzword to us, but honestly, it is easy, because when we are distributing it, and when we say it has a it has a decentralized nature in itself, that means that the ownership or the censorship and everything that comes along comes back in the hands of the users. Moving forward, I have a bit of explanation to this, like two things, right? So Bitcoin is a base chain, which we all already know, and Stacks, right, is basically a connected chain. Because I've told you, right? So Stacks is basically working as a layer one Bitcoin blockchain solution. So when we say it's a layer one, it's connected to the main chain, and that's Bitcoin blockchain, but it has nothing to do with changing any sort of a feature in itself. Now there's something called election happens on Bitcoin blockchain. So if you look at Stacks basically runs on proof of transfer thing. Now to make it more simple, what proof of transfer can look like is basically this was again an example I was sharing with my team, that you are you're going to a coffee shop. I gave a different example, but I'll take it to the coffee shop. You're going to the coffee shop with 3 or 4 of your friends, and there you decide to basically do some sort of a discussion. There you decide to play some music of your choice. But by any chance, you think that coffee shop is no longer you are interested in, you want a new one now, you want to go from CCD to Starbucks, you will go, your friends will go, your entire discussion, your entire plans of like playing music and everything will go with you to the next sort of a shop, or to the next sort of a store. Now bring that to the technology level, right? So proof of transfer is basically creating a very similar sort of a situation when it comes to proof of work. Now what is happening so far is, when we say proof of work, we understand that proof of work is entirely done using GPUs, and what we are trying to do is basically we are writing smart contracts and things like that. But so far, what we were doing on normal blockchains were we were leveraging proof of work, but we had no clue that how do we take it forward? What is an extension to proof of work? So that's where Stacks felt that we can leverage Bitcoin blockchain and bring this nature in the system. And how it will work is something that I will quickly mention in my further slides. Is my slide little bit of disturbed or something? Is it like that to me or
Yeah,
not?
it's a bit disturbed.
Okay, sure. Okay. So what I was saying is, so the transactions basically are settled on Bitcoin. Transactions benefit from Bitcoin's security, and there's something called Stacks. Now, STX is a token for Stacks. Why we use STX, I'll go there. But STX miners bid for becoming the leader of next round. So last time we were having this session where we talked about delegates. That was actually trying to show you that the power is being distributed on the basics of how much token do you stake, and the entire delegation or the entire decision has been transferred via a piece of code to different delegates in the network. Now STX uses something very similar, but it uses the potential of proof of work and stake as well, for which they call it stacking, where we'll be quickly rushing. What is the benefit of proof of transfer? We know proof of work, how it works. We know proof of stake, the benefits of it. When we say proof of work, now Ethereum is planning to move from proof of work to proof of stakes. That means that we are not in no more in need of too much of computational power. We are not in too much need of hardcore coding. Now we can settle down things on the basis of how much token staking you or me can do, and accordingly decide how the power distribution will happen when it comes to you or me becoming a validator for a particular block, or you or me becoming a miner for it, right? So even similarly, proof of transfer also have its own sort of benefits. Now stacks and its like applications inherit Bitcoin's security in settlement. So Bitcoin has its finality in settlement as the key. So stacks leverage the similar things, and basically stacks runs on the nature of proof of transfer. So I'm basically talking on behalf of proof of transfer. Applications built on stacks can interact with Bitcoin on-chain data and state. Now on-chain and off-chain, right? So any sort of change that we are doing on the main blockchain, it's happening on-chain. Now whatever applications that are built on stacks can interact with the Bitcoin's on-chain data and state, that is with the main chain. So here we are not leveraging a side chain or some other chain to basically, because tomorrow nobody will hold the authority to it, or nobody will hold the conclusion to it, that if there's some sort of a mischief or mistake happens on some sort of a side chain or other chain, then nobody will take the liability of it. But here, when we say the applications built on stack and interact with Bitcoin's on-chain data and state, it is working directly with Bitcoin blockchain. And the interesting fact is anyone can mine and no special hardware is required. So with proof of work, we had a great idea that we need high power GPUs, we need good amount of storage, we need good amount of mining setup and things like that. But with proof of transfer, anyone can mine, and we don't need some sort of special hardwares or GPUs or things like that. Now look at an image on your screen, okay? So proof of transfer consensus mechanism works in this particular manner. So there's something called STX miners, and there's something called stackers. Okay, so stackers, you can, for now I'll make it easy. It's basically people who hold and lock, that is basically stake the tokens, that is STX token. Now stackers are holding and locking this and earning Bitcoin in return as a reward, right? But the people who are basically mining are leveraging the power of stackers and basically competing to earn stacking rewards. If you look at the cycle, right, the cycle starts from the center. It basically shows that STX miners are competing to earn STX rewards. They are sending BTC in return. Stackers are earning BTC and basically giving the power to the miners to basically run this entire thing. And this is something called liquid supply of STX or stacks. And that's how the entire thing works. So here we are not eventually looking for some sort of hardwares or rock solid graphic cards or something like that. We are entirely running on these two modules called stackers and miners. Mining with proof of transfer. Now you must be wondering how that works. So now miners transfer Bitcoin to holders of stacks. So those holders are called stackers. It enables holders of stack tokens to earn Bitcoin from the consensus. As we are leveraging Bitcoin's main chain, we're definitely leveraging the power of Bitcoin, and we are also leveraging a Bitcoin to basically reward our entire mechanism or system. And the third one is leaders. Election happens on Bitcoin, and new block are written on the stacked blockchain. So what we are doing is, for elections and for choosing the leaders, we are leveraging
It's
Bitcoin.
7:30.
We are writing the entire blocks on Stacks blockchain. We're not doing that, and that's why there's no change in feature on directly on Bitcoin's chain. There are definitely a couple of parameters. We've forever seen this with all our earlier use cases as well. So proof of transfer parameters. So the block reward is 1,000 STX per block for first 4 years of their journey. Now you can go to their white paper, have a detail. Once you have a fair idea of what the product is, I would insist you to go and check what all resources are available around Stacks. And in fact, I'll get a couple of resources listed on our resource section too, including the white paper. So 1,000 stacks per block for first 4 years. Block time will be obviously considered to be the Bitcoin's block production time, which is roughly once every 10 minutes, so that this will basically the rate of Stacks 2.0 mainnet. So Stacks 1.0 mainnet was existent. Now basically they're working towards enhancing the systems and enhancing the technology. So this will be the rate of Stacks 2.0's mainnet. And staking, I cannot call it staking, it's stacking parameters. So two reward addresses per block. So basically when I say miners and when I say stackers, so we have understood how the miners are working, but for stackers, there's something called every block, two addresses are basically getting rewarded, or I think one address is basically getting two rewards addresses per block. Okay, yeah, two addresses rewards, two per block. So far, any questions? Please shoot in chat. Okay, what is presentation is zoomed out? Is it still? It's still zoomed out?
No, it was. It's not. It was just one slide.
Okay, so is it like now sorted?
Yeah, it's sorted now.
Okay, cool. So basically asking what's on-chain and off-chain, how does it basically differs, right? So an on-chain transaction, you can simply call it like a transaction, and is considered valid when the block is modified to reflect the transaction on a public ledger. Now, to give you an example of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin blockchain as an example. So any transaction that is happening and any change in the transaction that is happening on chain, it's been happening on the blockchain. Off chain, we can try to understand a side chain is built or some sort of a different chain is built, and we are trying to do all sort of transaction on a different chain altogether. And we are not, we may interact with the main chain, but we are not doing it actually on the main chain. That's the Bitcoin blockchain. So off chain and on chain has a difference of to give you an example, very easy example. So let's take an example of state and a city, right? So there's a state called Karnataka, the state called Maharashtra. So any sort of decision that has been taken interstate on in the state, right? And some sort of a special decisions that are taken in cities. So Pune can take their own decisions, Bangalore can take their own decisions, but those decisions never reflects the decision for entire Karnataka or Maharashtra. I cannot make it more easier than this, right? So all the decision that happens off the chain, it's basically not been reflected on the main chain. So here I'm considering Karnataka as a Bitcoin blockchain. I'm considering Maharashtra as an Ethereum blockchain, and I'm considering Pune and Bangalore as the side chains. So whatever is happening on those chains, those are not considered to be happening on the main, that is the state level of chain that we called as on chain. Devansh, is it easier or you want it to be more easier? Ritika, was it appropriate for you? You are a developer.
Yeah, it was almost perfect. It was like simplest I can ever heard.
I cannot go more than that easy. Like I have known hard definitions and easy examples. Devansh, if you're comfortable, please shoot yes. Otherwise, I'll try to explain you more. You deserve it, bro. So what's next? We have more questions, or are we moving to clarity? Okay, we definitely like. Even I did had good clarity about clarity earlier. Got deeper into it and got a good clarity. So shall we move on, Ritika? There's no question, right?
Yeah, there are no questions.
Interesting, guys. You're not shooting questions. Is it because of quiz? If then we won't bring in quiz next time. If you want more quiz, please shoot in questions. We deserve more questions, guys. Okay, so talking about clarity programming language. Now, can quickly someone write in chat what all programming languages you all know when it comes to blockchain as a technology. I've mentioned 3 to 4 of them in the beginning of the session. Can you quickly note down 4 languages that we use in blockchain world? 4 programming languages that we use in blockchain world. Can someone give me clarity on this, guys? Okay, we'll
Can
wait.
I answer it too?
You can answer it, but you'll have to answer in the chat.
Yeah, let's see how many languages do people know in the
How
blockchain
many?
world.
Type it. We have time. You can type all of them. You know. And who pushed it first? Like who pushed it first?
Yeah, let's see who's first here.
Thank you, Devansh. Solidity, Java, Node.js, JS, Clarity, Python. Nihar, you know Clarity? Python solitary nahi this solidity, Pradeep. Solitary is not a language. I'm pretty sure it's solidity. Yeah, it's solidity. Nihar, right? Correct. Thanks for correcting. Python. Uh, I'm talking about mainstream blockchain languages. I mentioned 2 more apart from solidity. Something that Solana uses, something that was also created by Google. I think if I'm not wrong, na Ritika. This one language by
Yeah,
Google is yeah.
R
Right.
first.
We want to know.
Yeah, Nihal.
Nihal is the winner.
Yeah, Nihal is the winner. Viper,
Nihal.
Rust, and Ruby.
Okay, cool. Chalo, I think we should basically move on. Viper, Rust, and nice, Nihal. Nihal, you googled it, buddy. I know you googled it. Okay, so let's talk about Clarity. So the Clarity language optimizes for predictability and security. I'll read something that's on screen first, and then I'll try to brief you on this. And also, I think someone came here and written, but someone wants to understand the back slide, that is proof of transfer slide once again. So I'll definitely do it. Thanks. Uh, yeah, Jay. So Clarity makes the behavior, cost, and performance of smart contracts transparent, both for developers and for automated verifications, and introduces post condition for added safety. Okay, let's make it easy. So you can consider Clarity as a new programming language for smart contracts. Now the Clarity language optimizes for predictability and security, as I was saying, right? So predictions and tightening the security. Now Stacks 2.0 that I was talking about, the Stacks mainnet 2.0, the version upgrade of Stacks, right? It anchors Clarity smart contract to Bitcoin, making it possible for smart contract to operate based on actions seen on the Bitcoin blockchain. Now, what I'm trying to say here is that basically when we are trying to write a smart contract, when we are basically trying to put a smart contract on Bitcoin blockchain, so we basically leverage the actions that is happening on Bitcoin blockchain, and that's how we basically uh, not transact, but that's how we behave. So well-designed smart contracts can, like, what all can be done using well designed smart contracts, right? It can prevent bugs. It can design, right? So I think poor user experience was something that I was also talking in my one of the sessions. And I think there are like tons of problems, but if we deploy the smartest version of smart contracts, we can basically rectify all such challenges, right? So Clarity, we took what we see. You get like Clarity makes the behavior, cost, and performance. What it's trying to say is basically every developer who's basically using other languages in the game, right, have challenges with all of those things. They have challenges with the cost, they have challenges with the performances, they have challenges with the behavior of the relation between the layer and the smart contract. Now Clarity makes this entire thing transparent. So when we make it transparent, we know that how do we function it, or how do we condition it moving forward. Now, the next point is it enables a familiar Web 2.0 user experience for non-technical users without relying on trust. Now, when we say blockchain, we know blockchain is technology of trust. But when we say Web 3.0, we are not yet familiar with the entire landscape of the Web 3.0, where the entire blockchain technology has evolved. So what we do is we basically make the people familiar, like keeping the user experience in the same format. That means obviously, if you are not in Web3, we'll still call you a less technical or a no technical person. And for them, it basically makes it more familiar. That doesn't mean that we're not leveraging Web3. Uh, we are leveraging Web3, but we are not keeping it complicated. And post condition enable the users of their wallet to set conditions that must be true when the contract finishes running. Now, this is the uh, what I can say, the essence of smart contract, right? When uh, I've given this example as well. When I give a pen to Ritika, Ritika transfers me, or other way around, right? So when Ritika transfers me 10 rupees, I give a pen to Ritika. So what if we bring this to an automation? What if we write a code for this transaction? So we basically set the post conditions, like to the users or their wallets, to set these kind of conditions when the contracts are basically about to finish, or finishing the run. Clarity contracts have visibility into the Bitcoin state. What does it mean? Contract logic can trigger based on pure Bitcoin transactions. Now, here we are not leveraging any off-chain transactions. What we are saying, in whatever is happening on Bitcoin as a main chain, Bitcoin blockchain as a main chain, we are leveraging that to basically trigger the logic of the contract. There's definitely every coding language, every technology has its own benefits. So why won't we flex on the benefits of clarity? So clarity promises secure and reliable smart contracts. Now we've heard secure blockchain, we've heard secure products in the market, right? But here I'm talking about secure smart contract. So I want, this is your homework, to go and check why do we need why do we even relate this towards secure and reliable when it comes to smart contract. It also helps you program with Bitcoin based logic. So the challenge with other technologies are they are very dependent on their own chains that they are leveraging. So we were not comfortable coding in those languages for Bitcoin, and that's why there was a need of a programming language. And this basically helps to code you with the logics that are based on Bitcoin blockchain. And last but not the least, it enables a more familiar user experience. As I said, we're bringing in user experience of Web 2 for the people, but without removing the element of blockchain. Shoot questions, guys. I'm expecting you must be having questions. Nihar, I was kidding. I know you know. That's why we are part of the same community. So, Puneet, you're saying hi, Ayush. Okay, so you have questions, please shoot in, or we will move forward. Or by the way, Nihar, if you know those languages, add clarity to your resume too, bro. Or if you know clarity, then come and help us teach more people clarity. We've done for other languages, but if you know clarity, come on. So it's that simple. Moving forward, proof of transfer, should we go there or should we keep moving ahead? Guys, can you write in chat? The same person who texted me, can you write in chat if you're here? You want me to go
Guys,
back?
right, yaar.
No.
लिखो यार.
Are we good to go forward or are we going back? Is there lag between what we say right now?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there is a 15 seconds lag. When we see the
15
comment, it was posted 15 seconds before.
Damn, 15 seconds is a good. Ayush wrote forward back then, and I'm able to see forward now. Okay, not an issue. Let's keep moving forward. So, I think the need of token in this ecosystem. Pradeep, thank you so much. Thanks a lot. So the need of token in this ecosystem comes very intentionally, and comes for the need, right? So even STX is basically token of stacks, and obviously it has a utility and it has a purpose to exist. Now STX is designed primarily to be used as a fuel. So now we've talked about a lot of other tokens. We've talked about a lot of other coins as well, right? And we knew that the purpose that they are even solving is to basically fuel the protocol or fuel the technology. Here with stacks, or basically for clarity smart contracts, we needed something, and we have something called STX. Now STX, okay, so talking about token, uh, I love to talk about tokens a couple of times. So STX like recently got listed on one of India's one of the exchanges, WazirX, and we've seen good amount of adoption happening and scaling rapidly. Now there are two kind of people who will definitely get into. So we have a mixed audience. We have developers who will definitely do the stacking for the purpose of powering the technology or getting involved, or there will be the people who will do it for the trading purposes or for the investment purposes. Now it makes a lot of sense. Now if I talk about STX as a token, as I say, it basically fuels up the technology, powers the technology, and it helps basically execute clarity smart contracts. Now stacks are also used for other network functions, and couple of them are basically registering digital assets, paying for transaction fees. Like now we know that need of transaction fee is real, and with STX we can pay transaction fees for stacks, and also publishing clarity contracts on the blockchain. Because when we say we are not leveraging proof of work entirely, we're leveraging an extension to it, that is proof of transfer. We wanted to solve all these challenges, and STX pretty much started doing it. So STX is token for stacks. Now stacks can be locked by the holders, we call it hodlers, to participate in consensus and to earn Bitcoin rewards. Now this is interesting, right? So if I'm a holder or a hodler of stacks or STX token, right? One, I can participate in the consensus that I tried to explain in the not decision making, but at least putting my word out, right? In that democracy or in that system, to be in the consensus and earn rewards in Bitcoin. Now that doesn't mean that we'll get rewards in Bitcoin. We'll get rewards in satoshis or sats, but it's solving some sort of a purpose that if you're staking this, because it is about to happen. When we say holding STX, it is basically powering the technology. The stacking is basically powering the technology. So there's need of holding, and they will have to incentivize the holders apart from the price hike and apart from the token jumping to new highs. So they are rewarding you with Bitcoin rewards. Now you'll say where they bring in Bitcoin from. So going back to the first side of this discussion, the miners are mining Bitcoin and they are generating some sort of rewards. That rewards are thrown in the next segment of the cycle, which is coming to the stackers in the language of stacks. This process is called stacking. I'm right there. To participate, STX holders run a full node, lock their STX, and publish useful information periodically on the network, right? So one, you'll have to run a full node. Now, Ritika, I'm throwing this to you, right? So I know like you've been involved into nodes, you've been involved into writing smart contracts and things like that, right? Can you, again, very straight question, yes or no? Can you explain me how do we run the full node? Yes or no? It's fine.
It's like I cannot explain in a non-techie like thing,
You go
but
for a techie definition, it's fine.
we have one question. Can you answer that first?
It's fine, it's fine. So the reason, listen. The reason I have asked you directly is basically you represent the community, right? So when I just
Oh,
throw kind of keywords that STX holders run a full node, right? What does that mean? If you don't know, if audience don't know, I'll have to make it easy for you as well. I'll have to explain it for you. But yeah, can you put the question on screen? but I'll be answering this. What's the question?
How the notes work? Acha, okay, that question. Sarvesh Kedia asked.
So okay, so stackers hold STX that they give miners, right? Where is that initially STX coming from? Dude, you're purchasing. You need to obviously, like, where are they coming from? Either you get it from airdrops, either you go and buy it, right? But I think you're getting involved in the system, so you cannot mine stacks. You'll have to like STX. So stakers holding STX that they give miners, right? No, 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 no. So I think stakers hold STX. Can you frame this, Ritika, for me? I'm getting confused between the
He's basically asking how the new XTS are minting. Where the initial like कहाँ से आया पहला stacks? Where the initial STX token came from?
so there's a basically uh, a stake creation, like when the token launch happened, there's a token that came in, there's a supply that came in the circulation, right? There's a huge
Yeah.
supply of there's a huge circulation or a supply of STX token. We are basically picking up from the pool, and when we pick up from the pool, so it's that simple, right? So there's basically a basket of apples that comes to my house every month. I pick up 4 apples, keep it to me. But if I'm keeping that apples, uh, 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 and that apple is basically powering some sort of activities in my house, someone is giving me an orange every day. So, right. And one more thing that is interestingly happening is the value of that apple is increasing because the value of market is increasing, or whatnot, right? So that's the basic example to set in when it comes to what happens, right? Where is this coming from? There's a supply in circulation. It comes from there. So you'll have to then go back to token economics of STX and learn that. But Sarvesh, if you are open, we can host that discussion in one of our Discord channels. Nihar said they created the tokens and supply for it, then created a liquidity pool for it, and gave access to the people. Nihar, you have the answer, buddy. Thank you so much for putting it. Sarvesh, so Nihar rightly clarified it. Nihar, you have a good clarity, bro. So interesting,
Yeah.
right? Nihar has a interesting, yeah. So that's
Nihal
what,
is आज का superstar.
yeah. So Nihar, you gets the stacks badge for today. So interesting. So this is how, right? Does stacks also have supply? Now this is an interesting question. Can you do the research and tell me if had a fixed supply, or there's a period of new token generation? So we are not picking up token economics, and that's why I'm throwing that question to you. If you come up and tell me that, do they have a fixed supply? It will be interesting. Or before the session ends, I'll answer that question. A quick activity for you to go and check. But before you leave the session, be here. Rather than, I think I'll try to answer that. Sorry, but if you can do that, interesting. Because we are not okay. Nihar, you have answers. Nihar answered no. It's not a fixed supply. Nihar, what's the supply? What was the supply unit? Can you, if you are aware with that? Have you? I think Nihar is coming with the preparation of white paper, or maybe he's involved in the project. So Nihar, what's the supply number? I'll also check. I need to check.
1.35
Okay.
billion STX.
Billion. 1 point.
35 billion STX total supply. And circulating supply is 918 million STX.
Okay, cool. Got it. So that's interesting. Can you put that in chat so that it answers,
Yeah.
that stays there in the chat, because we're discussing it. Don't know the exact number. Nihar, we got the number, buddy. Thanks for supporting. Oh, it's 1.82 billion. That's the supply. And is it like a not fixed supply? It's not a fixed supply, right? Total supply is 1.8 billion. Is it out of 1.82 billion? Because Amitesh is saying it's 1.82 billion. We need to tell the community the real number. What's the real number?
Yeah, the
Is
total supply is 1.35 billion STX and the circulating supply is 918 million STX.
okay. Okay, so there's a constant circulation supply 918. Okay. Yeah, total supply. Amitish, is it? Are you sure it's for STX tax? Yeah, because Amitesh has a different answer, and now it's point of debate. What's the real number? I cannot keep community in a chat.
Yeah, it's fine.
But we can push Ayush to that job. Ayush, bring in the number as we move forward. But something that immediately comes to me is what is running a full node means. Okay, okay. So Ritika got a right source to bring that data to me. Interesting. Let me quickly do it. Let me quickly
It could,
STX block stack. Okay, price currently $1.46. Uh, price to BTC, volume, market cap, fully diluted market cap, all time high. Uh-huh. Okay, circulation supply 918 million, total supply 1.35 billion, issuance blockchain stacks. Ritika, talking about block stack. Okay, block
oh,
stack. Is it the
oh,
same for the mainnet? No, but that's correct, yeah. That's we're talking about STX only,
oh.
right?
Yeah.
I think the best thing gonna be the white paper, token economics. We need to answer this.
No,
Community.
the total supply is 1.35 billion and circulating supply, which is happening like how many STX are minted till now, it is 9.8 million.
Okay, okay. You know where this number coming from, which Amitesh showed? It's coming from the
Let
stacks.
me.
It's coming from Stacks 2.0 white paper. Amitesh, am I right? Yeah, the Coin Geeko is showing the Stacks 2.0 number.
Oh,
Yeah. So I've quickly opened the white paper and okay, Stacks 2.0 apps and smart contract for Bitcoin. Munib Ali, the founder. What's in circulation? Let me quickly check that. Okay, so that was for Blockstack. The number was not wrong, Ritika, but right now we're discussing 2.0, their new version, and that's why there's a different supply to it
that's
now.
previous one.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So, okay, I think I got the number. Okay, the Stacks cryptocurrency has 1.32 billion STX in the Genesis block. This STX were distributed through various offerings in 2017 and 19. The 2017 offering distributed STX at this price. Okay, interesting. The Stacks cryptocurrency has predefined future supply. Okay, so they have a so when this entire thing was written, right? They have predefined the supply to reaches the approximity of 1.8. Honestly, what Amitesh is writing. Yeah,
Okay.
1,800, 1,818 million. And this is, oh, by the way, this is by the year 2050, a reduction from the earlier 2 billion number. Okay, okay, okay. Interesting. So, dude, like they have this predefined set of things uh, towards their future projections, right? So, what they are doing is basically coming through their history and everything. They have current supply. What you have added is definitely, but by the year 2050, their full supply gonna be 1.8 billion. But the circulation supply is something that you have mentioned. When we say circulating supply, does that including the STX that have been staked? Yeah, so it's in supply, right? Okay. So once something comes out of the box, I think I love to use props. Now, when this is out of the box, it's in supply. So now in the different state it's been staking and all, we won't be counting that.
It's 8
back on
o'clock.
the system. It's currently in the supply to supply. Staking happens from the supply. So it's nonetheless. But yeah, quickly moving ahead. What I was telling you, where was I, Ritika? Was I think I was on the running the full node, right?
Yeah, you were on how node works.
If I want to be less technical, I'll talk about a Bitcoin's node. Okay, so in Bitcoin node, using the full Bitcoin node or to the fullest is basically what we do is we use the spare computing and bandwidth resources that allows Bitcoin users to send transactions and get notifications for any activity in their digital wallet. Now, this is basically the definition of running a Bitcoin node fully. So we are basically leveraging the potential or the leftover value of that computing to basically do certain activities. Got it? I was audible, right?
Yeah, you were audible.
Interesting. Okay. Now, what are the benefits of this blockchain? Because we keep talking about different blockchains. What is the benefit of Stacks blockchain? Wait. Yeah. So anything that happens on Stacks blockchain settles on Bitcoin, right? And second, a flexible layer on top of Bitcoin that enables smart contracts, digital assets, and DApps. So basically, when we say, as I said, it's a layer one Bitcoin thing. So it's a flexible layer on top of Bitcoin that is basically taking the power from Bitcoin but not doing any changes and helping enable smart contracts, digital assets, and help to build decentralized applications with the power of Bitcoin. The Stacks blockchain. One second. It's now full screen, I think, right?
Yeah,
It
it
is.
is.
The Stacks blockchain scales independently of Bitcoin. So it's not necessary that I'm leveraging Bitcoin blockchain, so I'm dependent on it. The scale can happen independently the way we want to scale our blockchain. Moving forward to the next thing is, do we have any questions? I think stacking is remaining. No, nothing. Stacking is also we've covered. But do we have any questions, guys? Please pull in. In fact, proof of transfer. If you feel you need a revision, happy to do that. And but I like the entire research that on the go happened for the supply circulation numbers. We should do this more often because we definitely understand technology, but something that fills that technology, something that powers that technology, we should also have a better understanding of it so that we know that the number is not vague, the number is not into tens or hundreds of billions or something, right? It's like if you look at 1.8 billion, I personally feel, look at the population of the world, look at the people adopting the blockchains, and then trying to think about it, right? When we say Bitcoin is a limited supply of 21 million, that makes the value extreme high. So it has a fair good amount of circulation and supply, so it will have a decent value in the long run as well. It's not vague like we have heard a lot of other uh, non-useful coins coming in picture. So yeah, I think it was a jam-packed session. I would love to say thanks for attending. We all have done. What's next? We'll keep bringing in more and more sessions like this. Thank you so much for joining in. Anything else, Ritika? You want to do the ending notes?
Yeah, there is one question from Pradeep.
Yeah, please put it on screen. How ready is the chain to build applications on Stack? Okay, so this is an interesting question. It's already happening. I think the good thing gonna be you connect with the community of Stacks, and they're doing pretty much activities now, right? Hackathons and other things are coming in picture. So it's all set. You can start building applications. So I think you can connect to the community. If you need help, we'll put the community details in our blockchain school Discord community. We have more questions. Please put it on screen. With I think guys, people who wants to ask question can stay here. I think people also start dropping, so it's fine. With all the other programmable token cryptos, like ETH, EDA, and other out there, do you see good potential for bringing programmability to Bitcoin? Really, boss, I consider this in a way where uh, we got introduced to blockchain due to Bitcoin. You take it or no, right? And why not? So Bitcoin is like a grandfather, but something that is evolving out of their what do we say, shelter or their hand holding or something like that. Why not to actually understand the full potential of it? That's my thinking. But I personally feel it is required. That's why stacks exist, right? Because we wanted to test the full potential of something that has given birth to everything that is existing in the ecosystem today. Is stacks better than ETH? Was no comparison. Honestly, everybody is doing great. This is like ever evolving space. We cannot judge who's best, who's better. But what we know for a fact is something that I just said. Uh, I won't deny for the fact that how good or how bad are others. But what I know is definitely wanted to explore the full potential of Bitcoin, and that's why you should give it a shot. It's worth exploring, Nihar, as it's evolving, and you eventually become the early adopter to this scene as well. You're already an early adopter to the technology. What is the difference between layer one and layer two? Okay, so take an example of layer one and layer two. Interesting thing. What can be the example? Yeah, I have कुछ easy करना है. Like, I want to do something really easy. Oh, yeah, got it. Nice. I have a diary, okay, with me, and this diary has like multiple layers and pages stacked on each one of them, right? So so I say the paper, this paper is like a layer one paper, and I'm putting another layer on it, and I'm writing my name on it, which is eventually not reflecting on the first layer or the first page. Now, good example of layer I've also given you that internet is a layer one, right? Everything that started building on top of internet, the world wide web, the entire evolution of websites in the first place, the e-commerce of it, right? And everything that's evolved is a layer of it, right? So layer one is the main layer, the Bitcoin blockchain layer, and everything is that has been built on top of that layer. Either builds on a next layer. They cannot do the change to the existing code of that chain. So they basically leverage the technology and the power of it and build the next one so that they can create a new revolution in the space, either to solve problems with the existing layer or to create a new revolution. I hope I answered it right.
Yeah, you have. Like you
Okay.
have simpled it in the jargon free thing.
Are there any other layer one solutions like stacks? Today we're talking about stacks. Maybe tomorrow, if we find it, we found stacks so far for Bitcoin blockchain, right? Uh, we haven't found anything else. But if we find, we'll definitely. But I think you should go and leverage and explore stacks. In terms of gas fee, okay, interesting question. I thought you're talking about the chain itself or the technology. Nihar, I think definitely, man. The gas fees are hiking. Not for I cannot talk for BSC. Ethereum we have seen, right? Ethereum we all have faced it. So I think this definitely better than that, but I cannot see that it's better than everyone. But I think the best thing gonna be you yourself going and exploring this and coming and telling to the community that okay guys, I found this rather than I am telling to you because I haven't built or I haven't leveraged the feature of gas fee, but I would love to understand what you find. But what I know comparison, like in the comparison, is definitely there's a benefit, and that's why there's an adoption. Why would you go to a different store if you get the every best service in the market right there, right? We go to different store because we get benefits, and Stack is one of those projects which is giving you the benefits. To Stack something like Polygon on it for Bitcoin. Uh, okay, so Polygon is not a
Real.
they're a, I think they're a full like there's a full stack uh, solution. Uh, scaling solution, as we say, right? We cannot say, and that's a layer 2 solution, honestly. So Stacks is exactly with correlated to the Bitcoin layer. So I cannot create that a relation between Polygon and Ethereum. So Polygon started solving problems, right, which were existing with the Ethereum overall. It started solving the problem in the first place. Stacks is not solving problem for Bitcoin. It's basically giving you the power and potential to build on it, right, Ritika? Right. So cannot
It's making Bitcoin to be a programmable thing. It was not programmable. It's basically making something like what Ethereum did in the first place by introducing smart contracts.
no. So a Polygon, Ethereum already came up with the programmable capabilities, but Stacks is giving you that potential to create programmable possibilities on Bitcoin blockchain. Yeah, I think we've covered all the questions,
Yeah.
right? Let's stop sharing the screen. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Ritika, it was
Thank you
lovely
so much.
being here.
You were lovely and kind host to me. It was my first hosting session, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much, everyone, for
Thank
comments and for everything.
Guys, definitely go check out the project. It's now listed on Webflix. You can go and find opportunities there as well. You can read the white paper. We will be kind enough to list the resources on our uh, resource section. You can bring in more activities in the community for Stacks. If you demand for it, we are here for you. Thanks a lot for joining. Have a good Sunday tomorrow. Bring in next session next Saturday. Wait for the announcement. Until then, keep stacking. Bye bye.